Hi there everyone, it's good to see you again. Thank you very much for joining and taking few minutes of your time to watch this chess video. Now, I have a very interactive and a very beautiful chess game to show you from 1969 Mar del Plata chess tournament. Mar del Plata is in Argentina, by the way. So in this chess game we have Henrique Mecking with the white pieces, an unbelievable chess player, the first ever chess grandmaster from Brazil, a very talented chess player, a chess prodigy, and at one time around in the mid 1970s he was one of the leading chess players in the world, and in 1977 he was ranked as high as number 3, only behind Anatoly Karpov and Viktor Korchnoi. Henrique Mecking, a very important chess player. So in this chess game, his opponent is Antonio Rocca. By the way, Henrique Mecking, he didn't became, of course, as we know, the world chess champion, but he was so good at one time. He was actually a world chess championship contender. But because of his illness, which was quite severe and serious, his illness unfortunately interrupted his chess career. But later he fixed his health problems, thankfully. His health condition haven't worsened. It became much better, thankfully. And he got healed up completely and continued his chess career. And right now, at the age of 72, he was basically one of the leading chess players of Brazil right now. His FIDE rating is around 2550s. A very high rated chess player still. So let's see what happened in this chess game. So Mr. Mecking starts the game with e4. We have e5 and we have the Spanish game. Asking a question and bishop takes on c6. Sometimes white goes back with the bishop, as you know. And this is known as the exchange variation of the Spanish game. D takes on c6 and then white castled f6, d4. So black is defending the e pawn with pushing his f pawn, but this weakened the light squares a little bit. So bishop to g4, pinning the knight, and then c3, bishop to d6, bishop to e3, queen to e7, and then developing the pieces. So developing the knight at the edge of the board, which is understandable because of this f6 move, and then bishop goes back defending the bishop and queen to b3 by Henrique Mecking. So you can see that black has some problems. Now he is basically targeting on b7, and at the same time black can't castle because white is occupying this light diagonal, and there's no time for moves like bishop to e6 because of queen takes on b7. So black has to first defend b6, and then d takes on e5. Again, black doesn't have any time to play bishop to e6 attacking the queen, because in between move pawn takes bishop, that is also attacking the queen, I believe. So f takes on e5, but then knight to c4, knight is getting in. And we can see that there is pressure on this bishop. So knight to f7, not just adding one more defender to the bishop, but also blocking the queen. So obviously in this position, castling is still not possible in the king side because of queen takes bishop, and that is going to be check. So black didn't want to line his king with the queen. Okay, so closing knight to f7, and by the way bishop to e6 was also not possible, I believe, because of knight takes bishop is going to be check, so it would not pin this knight. But then rook from f to d1, placing the rook in the semi-open file, and big pressure on the bishop, bishop to c5, and then bishop takes on c5, queen takes on c5. Well, black didn't want tripled pawn structure. Queen to b7, it looks terrible. This position is almost unplayable for black. So bishop takes on c5, queen takes on c5, but then here comes a very strong move by Henrique Mecking, and this move, this chess game becomes so interactive and entertaining, very entertaining actually, and it became one of my favorite attacking chess games of all times. Now watch this. A hammer strike, rook takes on d7, amazing move. And what else? King takes on d7. Why did Mecking sacrifice the exchange? Can you see the reason behind of this exchange sacrifice move? What would you do if you had the white pieces? So can you see, I mean, look carefully, white has a very strong move in this position. And white has actually a very good position despite the exchange sacrifice. Okay, did you see knight takes on b6? That's check, and this is also a discovery attack to the knight. And also this is forking the king and the rook, so what else? Accepting and then capturing the knight with check. And white has also a tempo, so after moving the king, knight takes on e5. So we have queen takes on b2, but then checking the king, king to b8. Black is attacking the rook, so white goes back, not just defending the rook, but also threatening to play rook to b1, pinning and winning. So queen takes on c3, but then rook to b1, and we have king to a7. Of course, moving the king to c8 is out of questions because of queen to d7, checkmate. So with this move, black doesn't have any option but to move his king to a7. But cutting the king off with this open b file, and it looks like the king is stuck inside of this box. The king is tied down. It looks like it is boxed in. And how should white play? What would you do in this position? I'm going to give you a small tip. Actually, white has a very beautiful forced win in this position. So let me give you a few seconds. If you want, you can always pause the video and try to guess the next move of white. Okay, so if you haven't seen the move for white, some not so high rated chess players can miss this, but actually it's very simple. So let me give you a tip. If knight takes on c6 was possible, that would be checkmate, but because of the queen, white can't capture on c6 because the queen is defending. So if knight takes on c6, if there were no queen on c3, that would be checkmate. But white can deflect the queen, making played queen to d4. Did you see this move? Incredible move. I mean, what else? Black could have resigned, but he wanted to see this incredible checkmate. A noble move. He captured the queen, and then knight takes on c6. Checkmate. The king is boxed in, and the king is in the mating net, and this is getting checkmated. The rook is also cutting the escape square. This is simply incredible, cutting the b file. It was incredible. So in this position, of course, after queen to d4, pushing the pawn is not possible. It doesn't make any sense because of knight to c6 checkmate. Also the queen is hanging. The other option is blocking with the queen. We capture the queen. That would be also checkmate. So what else? Queen takes and then knight takes on c6. And this chess game became one of my favorite attacking chess games of all times. A very simple, beautiful attacking chess game from the history of chess by the chess grandmaster Henrique Mecking, a legendary chess player from Brazil who is still very active, and he is very high rated at the age of 72. What an inspiration as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and bye bye.